A very common business application is looking at maximizing profit, since companies would generally be interested in making as much money as possible. So in example 5, we're given a profit function, 212x minus 5500 minus x squared. We want to identify and interpret all extrema for this function. In this case, we'll need to zoom out quite a bit since we're dealing with much larger values than we were in our previous cases, until we can start to see where the peak of that parabola is occurring. We could adjust our viewing window again so that we get a better view. And in this case, we can find that we have that, in this case, absolute maximum occurring at x equals 106, y equals 5,736. Applying an interpretation to this point would tell us that the maximum profit of $5,736 is achieved by producing and selling 106 units of this product. In this case then, that point is giving us our value for x, which is our ideal production value that's going to yield that optimal profit. In example 6, we have a very similar problem. We want to look at optimizing our profit function. And actually this question isn't written very clearly. So let's go ahead and amend this to say we want to find and interpret all extrema for the profit function. Which in this case isn't stated for us. That means before we can actually begin this problem, we need to think about how to construct a profit function given this information. Profit can always be thought of as revenue, the amount of money that you bring in, minus costs, any money that you have to pay out. That means we can generate our profit function by taking the difference of these two given functions. So what we can do is type in that revenue function exactly as it's given to us. And then to make sure we're subtracting the entire cost function, we'll subtract and then open up a set of parentheses and type that cost function inside that set of parentheses. This way we're subtracting every single term in that cost function from our revenue function. And if we zoom out, we'll eventually find where we have, in this case, two different extrema occurring. We have a local maximum and we have a local minimum. One point occurring at x equals 800, negative 800, the other occurring at x equals positive 1800. So we have two extrema. Which we want to provide an interpretation for. The first step of interpreting these 2 points would be to throw out this point with x equals negative 800 completely. Because if x equals negative 800, that means we're producing and selling negative 800 units, which just doesn't practically make any sense. So even though mathematically we can arrive at that point, we throw it out since it doesn't make any sense in the context of our problem. Then we can interpret the other point and state that our maximum profit is achieved when 1,800 units are produced and sold, and that maximum profit is going to be $194,120.